2, 1.
Hello, everybody. It's Michael DeGioia joining you again with the #1 Best Trader competition. This is our spring novice competition. This is the week 3 review. So let's jump right in. My name is Michael DeGioia. I'm the Director of Educational Services, and I'm a licensed professional trader. I work here with Dash Trader, and I'm joining you here from Mexico. And I'm actually in a tent somewhere in Mexico. But very, very nice to be here with you. That's showing you that you can trade and work and live anywhere if you excel at your trading profession. And that's one of the things that we're here to do, is to teach you exactly how to do that and do it in a way that you can learn and not spend too much money. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about the news this week. We've had a big, big news week. We had earnings for Netflix. Netflix, for the first time in ages, has missed its earnings. I mean, pretty much in a year and a half. All of the subscriber growth that we saw during the pandemic has kind of finally slowed. So this kind of one-off situation with the pandemic has led us to this kind of slowdown or actually just come back to reality with Netflix. So Netflix has kind of come back to the reality of things. The question is this going to be indicative of all the tech giants, or is this just a Netflix issue? Bitcoin has jumped and then dumped. So Bitcoin has jumped and then dumped. It jumped all the way up to 65,000. And then it kind of petered out after making what we call an ascending wedge, which is a bearish pattern. And then it failed to make a higher high, and then it dropped back down below 50,000, wiping out about $200 million of market cap. An absolutely amazing amount of market cap just wiped out in Bitcoin. Many, many banks and many, many billionaires and millionaires and companies were adopting Bitcoin as it broke out above its 20,000 high, and it got all the way up to 65,000. And then now, of course, it has dumped back down to 50,000. My guess, and we're going to look at this on the charts when we go log into Dash Trader and we take a look at some of the charts. My thought is that probably Bitcoin will drop even more. It'll probably drop into the 40s and maybe even into the 30,000s again. And it'll probably stay there for a while, because after a run like that, it needs a little bit of a break and a pause. And Bitcoin has a tendency to make these big runs and then have a quiet period where it pauses. The next thing that we'd like to talk about is Biden is expected to raise the long-term capital gains for the wealthiest Americans up to a 43.4%, including a surtax. So our president, Joe Biden, is expecting to change the tax system, increasing long-term capital gains for wealthiest of Americans. This is a major change. We haven't had a tax increase in the United States in years, and this could very much be the catalyst that could start to bring down the U.S. stock markets. If capital gains are taxed more, it makes stocks less attractive. And before that capital gains tax goes into effect, people are going to be doing what? They're going to be selling their taxes, selling their stocks, and kind of avoiding that capital gains increase. If you hold on, it's got to go up a way more in order for you to really benefit, further from the appreciation because of that change in taxes. So I think a lot of people are probably going to be motivated to potentially want to sell their positions before this tax change goes into effect. We, of course, don't know if the tax change is going to go into effect yet. It has not been passed, but it certainly is pending, and everybody is staying tuned and watching for that. So let's jump ahead. So this is our week 3 overview. This is week 3 of the trader competition. This is April 19th to April 23rd. Let's go through our ranking and take a look at some of the analysis that we do each and every week. Now, what really stands out to me is that this is a much more difficult market than we have dealt with in a long, long time. And that stands out to me is because we have one trader, Best536, who is up $825 for the day, $14,000 in total gains. Number 1 in the trader competition. Well, there's only one other positive trader, Best529, okay, which did not trade today. Total gains $930, puts them in second place for the competition. So our top two traders are literally the only two green traders. Now it's a race to zero from that point on. Best 546, who was up $700 and heading back towards zero, was down 1,059. Still totally in striking distance to win the competition. Couple of good days for best 456. And certainly best 974, who did not trade today, only down $1,200. So, we really do have a potential couple of winners here. Certainly best 536 is way out in the lead and certainly really far out there. So I think that's probably our likely winner, but nothing is ever finished until it's actually finished. Let's jump ahead and go right to the top stocks. Our top stocks for this week is SYPR. Now, my guess is SYPR is kind of these one-hit wonder stocks, traded over 100,000 shares today. $4 stock, very cheap stock, kind of a low-volume stock usually, pops up on the radar, everybody jumps in. OCGN is another one that is one of these one-hit wonder stocks. Snap, we all know Snap, certainly been out there for a long time, social media kind of company, mainly focused towards kids. NEO, always a favorite here in the number one best trader competition. And of course, last but not least, TCAT, which is, again, my guess is one of these one-hit wonder stocks. We're going to take a look at these stocks in just about 2 seconds. I'm just going to make sure everything is good here. And I'm going to switch my share of my screen. Let me just make sure I'm all connected good. Log in, connect. All right, so let me just switch my share of my screen right here, new share. Hopefully everybody can see this all good. So I'm just going to stretch out my charts, and every single week what we like to do here is we like to feature and show you some of the charting capabilities here on our DAS Trader Pro platform. And everybody, if you're really interested in learning to trade in any market condition, you should really check out my coaching. I'm available for coaching. If you want to learn how to get the most out of your DAS Trader platform, certainly consider coaching as well. I just popped up my chart, and you can see I added the point of control and the price on volume aspect to the chart. And as well, we have a beautiful chart interface here with DAS Trader. Let me jump in and do my first stock. So before I do any of the stocks, I always like to take a look at the SPY. I want you to just notice that the SPY is near all-time highs. So we're still benefiting from dollar weakness. The S&P is near all-time highs, making some new highs, but notice that the candles are getting very wide. Notice that the volume is increasing and becoming erratic after very, very long decreasing bullish volume, okay? So definitely a very, very interesting situation here on our chart. And let's take a look at the DIA. So the S&P certainly not bearish yet. The DIA looks just like the S&P. And of course, the QQQ, slightly more bearish because of rising interest rates. The QQQ tech looks like it's forming an N-shaped pattern. This is called an N-shaped pattern. It's where you make a V pivot, rise up to the tops, makes a shallow new high, and then will probably end up coming back down to the 300 range. But it needs some kind of catalyst to do that. If it doesn't have a catalyst, it can certainly hang out up here for more time. But certainly we had a big volume increase in the last month and a half with that big sell-off. But that sell-off does kind of bode slightly negatively. And I'm going to show you why when I drop a trend line on here. I'm going to use a ray line. So when you draw a trend line, you find the lowest low in the current move, which is here, and then you project it out. Okay. And I'm not going to use my wicks. Okay. I'm going to try to connect it to these points here. So we have a trend line here. I'm going to add another trend line on here. Okay, so we got a trend line break here. Okay. We really probably are going to come back and revisit this trend line and this horizontal point of control level at 315. But like I said, it needs a catalyst to do so. Let's take a look at GBTC, which is the grayscale tracking stock of Bitcoin. You can see that it rallied up, sold off. I mean, tremendous volatility. This, to me, price is now below all major moving averages. This is a chart that indicates potential selling pressure much lower. So I would say that really big caution on digital assets and cryptocurrency in general. So big caution is the word of the day on that. USO. Let's do USO. USO, I mean, certainly made a tremendous run to the upside. Now probably going to move back down to its point of control, but we're probably going to still see an increase in oil prices due to the beginning of summer, people wanting to travel, kind of the winding down of the pandemic in the United States are probably going to help U.S. oil prices. So definitely oil looking like it's holding up fairly well. Last but not least, I want to take a look at X, which is a stock that we did not see traded very heavily on the number one best trader competition. I just wanted to bring up this chart because of the infrastructure bill related to Biden. Biden's still working on the infrastructure bill, and U.S. Steel probably going to be a very good beneficiary of that. Possibly breaking out to the upside, certainly worth keeping an eye on. So let's jump to some of our most active stocks. SYPR. SYPR, exactly like I thought it would be, a gap up, one hit wonder, breaking a breakaway gap, a run all the way up to 580, a fallback to 460. And then here we have our breakout, rally, and then rejection. Very interesting chart here on the SYPR. You can see it makes a huge run in the morning. It's probably where people are trading it. Probably got some shorters in here as well. Next one that we're going to look at is OCGN. Very similar one-hit wonder stock. It wasn't just a one-hit wonder. It was a 3-day breakout. So started breaking out on Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Big run up and rejection on Friday, closing here at around $9.82. Last but not least, well, not last. Snap also having a big volatile day today, gapping up, selling off, and then closing back up. Let's take a look at on the 5-minute chart. Certainly a very active day for Snap. I call this like the seagull pattern, where you kind of just see like the wings of a bird, where it starts up here, fades the gap all day, gets finally to gap fade, and then rallies back up near the highs of the day. So Snap making that very nice seagull pattern. On the chart. And if you want to learn about some of these patterns, you can certainly book a few hours of coaching with me, and I can teach about all the different technical patterns that I talk about here in the sessions each and every week. The next one that we're going to look at is NIO. NIO is, again, one of the most commonly traded stocks overall in our competition. So this is NIO, beautiful bottom, double bottom, triple bottom. Beautiful chart on NIO. Moving off the lows here at 34. It's kind of been in a sideways consolidation. We call this a low base. So it's forming a low base pattern. Usually a low base pattern will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, between 5 and 10 weeks before it breaks out to the upside. Then we got last one, which is TKAT. TCAT, right? We got TCAT, which is certainly looking good on the daily, but it's been going up for about 4 days. Nice run up to the upside on TCAT coming into the moving averages. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. I mean, basically, you can see that this is a beautiful 3-day trend. The breakout starts here, right here, and then we start to blast off and move higher. I just want to point out, if you notice, there's some little arrows popping up on my charts. Okay, that's where the moving averages cross over. Okay, and whether they're buy signals for the crossover or sell signals. DAS has some really amazingly powerful technical tools built into its charts. Most people don't know how to make the charts look quite as beautiful as I do. But if you do want to learn a little bit about how to configure your dash charts and get the most out of your Dash Trader platform, a couple of hours of coaching, and I think I can get you to make sure you're using your software to its full capabilities. So TCAT making a beautiful run up, consolidation, breakout, etc., and looking like it may have some upside as well still in there. It's above all of its moving averages, but it does certainly look like it's gotten through the worst of its resistance. On that note, I think those are all the stocks that we needed to cover for the day. And let me jump back to my presentation. And here, just to all of our competitors, review your strategy, okay? Always make sure you're reviewing your strategy. This competition is still completely open. We do not have any breakaway winners. This is a day trading competition. It's for novices. Just look at what's been successful for you so far. Have you made any mistakes? What have you learned? If you have any other additional comments that you'd like to talk about or have looked at in our competition, certainly do not hesitate to email us at info@onebesttrader.com. Certainly, competition rules runs through April 30th. Go to visit One Best Trader for more information. Certainly follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Social media is all at One Best Trader, the number one besttrader.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Dash Trader TV. Okay, this is Dash Trader TV. We're going to have a whole new class of a whole new session of classes that I'm going to be working on, and I've already finished on indicators and using various technical indicators on the Dash Trader platform. Also, I have a new series coming out on styles of trading. I'm going to be doing one on the market cycle as well, and I'm going to be doing one on various different types of news. So we got a lot of great things in store for you, both through our blog and our various social media outlets. If you did not already follow us on social media, it's at dashtrader.com, LinkedIn, Twitter, Dash Trader, Facebook, Dash Trader, Instagram, Dash Trader. Don't forget to follow us everywhere and stay tuned. Next week is the end of the competition, and I'm going to be great to go through and see who our winners are. If our current leaders, our two leaders that are positive, can keep and stay positive, and if any of our negative leaders or smallest losers can become positive and take control of the leaderboard. That's the exciting expectation coming forward this week. Thank you very much for being here with me every single week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. And check out our blog, which will be has already been released. And have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.